To understand data, we first have to look at some definitions. Data is distinct pieces of information, usually formatted in a special way. Raw data is data derived directly from observation or measurements, without calculation or interpretation. Interpreted data is data derived from calculation or interpretation of raw data. Here are the basic steps involved in working with data. Collection is the actual process of observation and measurement. This step has the maximum objectivity, particularly when the data is collected by a measuring device. However, it still depends upon the theory behind the measurements. Organization. This is the process of the organizing and categorizing of data. It includes graphing and categorizing. However, the categorizing of data depends on the validity of the system used. Interpretation. This is the process of giving meaning to data, and it depends heavily on the theory being used. A valid theory usually equals a valid interpretation, and an invalid theory usually equals an invalid interpretation. In the collection of data, you record measured values, as illustrated here, for an object falling from 500 meters over a period of 10 seconds. In the organization of data, you put related values together in a form that makes it easy to see what is going on. This can take the form of a chart, a graph, a table, or other means of organization. To interpret the data, we go to a known theory, in this case the known formula for the distance of an accelerating object over time, and derive from that a formula for acceleration to calculate the object's acceleration at 9.8 meters per second, which is the acceleration due to Earth's gravity. Please note that this interpretation is theory dependent. If a different formula had been used, it would have produced a different value for the acceleration. As a result, the interpretation is only as valid as the theory on which it is based. Now in this case, the correct formula is easy to verify, but this is not always the case. Sometimes it is not a formula, but an untestable philosophical assumption.